You mentioned that I'm running now.
Yes, you are.
Thank you for noticing. I thought you'd never mention it.
And a million others are supposed to join you, I noticed.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're going to try and get 1 million people running.
that's great. You're going to
Especially
save a
people
lot of
that.
lives.
Oh, thank you. But much of it's because of the work that people like you do and that come on my show and inspire me to think about things like my VO2 max. And I've definitely been just weight training for the last couple of years, not really
Mhm.
thinking about my bones or my VO2 max. So this has been quite a big shift for me.
Yeah.
But when I think about running, I definitely hated it. I still hate it a little bit, but
Mhm.
I hate and love it now, which is progress. What are the things I should be thinking about? Because people talk to me about runners' knees
Mhm.
and stuff like that, and I don't
Mhm.
want to get injured,
Right.
but I'm running quite a lot.
So I hear from a lot of runners that, oh, okay, I'm going to lift with my arms because I'm running. So that means my legs are going to get stronger. Well, what I know from 30 years in practice is that runners who only run are hurt a lot. And here's why. Running builds a big cardiovascular engine, but it does not build muscle mass below your belly generally, unless you're running uphill all the time and you're building glutes. But so what happens, running is a single leg sport. If you look at a gait analysis, you're on one leg at a time. You're never on two legs. In walking, you're in two legs. On running, you're in one leg. So if my hands are on someone's pelvis, when we're running, we can't be going like this every single stride.
Sort of oscillating
Oscillating like
down and
we're
up,
walking on a catwalk in Fashion Week. We wanna be running like this,
straight.
straight. Well, that takes tremendous glute strength, butt strength, because it's the glutes that balance the pelvis. If we were in my office and you came in with pain as a runner, I would stand you on one leg to see even if in a controlled environment, you could do a single leg squat and keep your pelvis stable without your knee falling in. And if you can't, it just tells me that we have a lot of butt core and hip strength to do.
And my lower back, something I think about. Because when I train,
Mm.
especially, I'm training for a football match at the moment
Oh,
um, in the UK,
mhm.
and I always seem to get a glute injury.
Mm.
So and it's almost like 100% predictable that if
Oh,
I don't stretch properly,
yeah,
even if I stretch a little bit but don't stretch fully,
yeah,
when I run onto that football pitch within 5 minutes, I feel like it's almost like a little tear in my glute,
yeah,
almost.
yeah.
What am I doing? What do you think is happening
It
there?
might be useful to you as you're training to have a motion analysis, to have someone stand you on one leg and look at the way that that one motion pattern is different from the other. Because if it's predictable like that,
Mhm.
there's an imbalance in you. And so it can likely be trained. I mean, I can give you an example in my life if you want to see how
Please.
that works. So when I run and when I increase my speed and distances, I predictably get left Achilles tendonitis and I get right hip flexor sharp stabbing pain. Predictably. That is because my left big toe from wearing high heels all my life has arthritis. So when I run, I don't run through the center of my foot. I run through the side of my foot
Where your pinky is.
where my pinky is. So instead of running through like this, I run through like this, puts extra stress on my Achilles tendon, changes my gait enough that it's tight all up through the left side of my body, and my right hip flexor is taking the brunt of that.
Wow.
That is a motion pattern deficit that I know I have. So if you were predictably getting the same injury all the single time, it's probably due to something's too tight on one side, something's too weak on the other side. And if you get it evaluated, you could probably train it out of you.
You have athletes and people that come to you stand on one leg to test something.
Yeah.
What is that?
Do you want to see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So to test whether we have muscle imbalances that could cause injuries when we run, because I had said runners are very hurt athletes that I take care of. This is called the Trendelenburg sign, and it tells us whether your butt muscles are strong enough to keep your pelvis straight and whether you're strong enough to keep your knee from falling into this position,
Okay.
which is called valgus. So collect yourself. We're going to stand all stacked up on our left knee.
My left knee.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yep. And then we're going to do some single leg squats without falling over. So what happens is people drop their hip and their knee falls like this. It goes bloop.
Yeah.
1,000 steps a mile. So you can imagine if your knee's like this, 1,000 steps a mile, your little kneecap's getting pulled off. And we can't balance. We're getting our balance 1,000 steps a mile. So we can train this. Let's do the other leg. Engage, single leg squat.
I look like I'm drunk or something.
Yep. There you go. Now you're compensating.
Yeah.
But the goal in the mirror is not to have the hip drop and not to have the knee fall in.
I feel like this one's way stronger, and that's why it was easier.
It looks that way.
Maybe
So
that's
that
why I'm
means
getting
that
my
this
injuries.
glute, this rear end glute is stronger than that one.
That's the one that always gets injured. My left one.
Yep, because it's not functioning as well and it leaves this side unprotected.
So what have I got to do?
So double leg squats are good, but single leg step ups, single leg lunges.
As in like...
So if we had a step, we would be holding, we could start with no weights like this. And you're tall, you could start low, you could go up here. I usually use an 18. And then when you feel comfortable and your hips not bouncing up and down, take your weight, your barbell, and step up and step down.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Great.
Because it's single leg.
So I'd have my weight
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be going like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I step down.
Step down with the same foot. Yep.
And what am I doing here? I'm just...
You're strengthening one side at a time.
Okay. So,
Because if you step up and you're wobbly,
Mhm.
then that's what's happening when you're running.
okay.
And so you can do step downs too. I mean, you can come this way and then come like this.
Okay.
Yep. And then we do, there are lots of things like this, a good physio, but if we're up here, we can do things like hip hitches where you put your leg down. I am in heels today, but we go down like this without going down like this. Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're
Let's get the
welcome.
table back in. Are we recording? 87% of people don't subscribe on the Clips channel.
Yeah.
Taking liberties. What? Just coming for free and then bouncing. What? 87%? 90% of people on the Clips channel don't subscribe.
That's what it says here.
So I've been doing all this for free. You've been consuming all these clips for free. Listen, we'll make a deal. I'm really going to make these clips amazing, and you're in the Clips algorithm on our show. So can I ask a favor? Please, can you hit the subscribe button? If you've watched more than one before, how about that? If you've watched more than one, first one free, buy one, get one free. The second one, I'm going to have to ask you to subscribe. If this is the first time you've seen a clip on this channel, move along. You don't need to subscribe. But if you've seen one before, please do me a favor, help a guy out, hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much.